Hey everyone, my name is Doug. I created CrewAxis.com. It's a website for managing video production businesses, and with some of the new features, it's actually starting to be able to be used in other industries, like some of the stuff I'm going to show you today. Makes it work a little better in film industry, for example. So I run a video production business in Orem, Utah. It's called DJP, Doug Johnson Productions. And I created CrewAxis as something to solve a need of my own. I have a background in software development, and the other products that I found out there just weren't quite cutting it. And so I created CrewAxis.com to meet my own needs, and I'm making that available to others as well. So this video is really meant as kind of an update of some of the features that have been added in the last few months. I'm going to do these in reverse chronological order, so if you're already familiar with some of the features of the site, I'm just going to cover the newest ones first, and then as I get to the ones that you're already familiar with, you can stop watching at that point. There are 14 features that I want to cover, so I'm not going to cover each one in much detail. Let's dive right in and talk about some of the things that are new. So the first one was just added a few days ago, something called extended attributes. So basically what this does is allow you to define your own data fields for crew members, for contacts, for resources, which is equipment, and for events themselves. We're going to actually define a new data field for crew members. So under the crew menu, we'll go into edit extended attributes, and we want to have one here that say scene government ID. In some places in the world, employers are required to make sure that they've seen the ID of people that are working for them, and so we're just going to say have scene government ID. Okay, and then over here on data type, we're going to say that this is a yes/no field, and it's going to be visible to admin. Well, we'll go ahead and save that. So now, whenever I go to view crew members, if I go to view crew listing, and I click on, say, Andy Bryce here, we scroll down to the bottom, and we'll see that there is now a scene government ID checkbox in here. So you're able to create your own fields, data fields, in order to make sure that you're capturing all the data that you need for your particular business. Extended attributes are available on crew members, contacts, resources, and on events. All right, let's move on to the next one. Speaking of events, the next one is event contacts. This one is available in the professional and enterprise editions. So this one, we're going to edit this Cool Stuff Inc. event. So we're actually going to go directly to the page where we define who's part of the crew. And we'll notice up top here, there is this new section, contacts for the entire event. And we're going to go to other contacts under this particular day. So Tuesday, June 4th, we want to add contact in here. So we're going to choose, we want to include Bill Bailey, and his role is going to be producer. And whenever somebody is added on here, they automatically get the call sheet emails that go out from the site the day before an event. And they can also participate in the text message relaying feature as well. So let's also add John Johnson of Acme Publishing as well, and he's going to be script supervisor. You can certainly add call times to each one of these things, though it's not required. And then over here on the right side, we have a place for an internal note, and then we have checkboxes to indicate whether these people will actually get those call sheet emails or not. Anybody that's on this list will appear on the call sheets, but this checkbox determines whether they will get those call sheets in the email themselves. The next one I wanted to show it's actually a revamping of an old feature. It's a feature called calendar sharing. So under the profile menu, we go to calendar sharing. And basically what this does is this creates web links that we can use with other websites in order to share our calendar. We're going to create a new personal calendar link. And then we say we want to include the event names and locations. We don't want pending job applications, and we don't want travel time in the calendar itself. So I'll create the sharing link. With the link created, I can come up here, right-click on it, say copy link address, and then I come over to my Outlook.com calendar, and then there's an import calendar button there. And then I say from web, paste in the URL, and then I'm going to give it a name. So this is my CrewAxis calendar. And I say import, and then any of my events will then show up on this calendar. Now this feature has been on the site for a while, but what's new about it is it now includes more information in those calendar links. For example, the agenda or run sheet is now included in the description of the event. The next thing I want to show is a feature that's available in the Enterprise edition of the site. So if we go under Site Setup, come over here to the Graphics tab, here you can see that we can change the site banner, change the site logo, change the favorite icon, and also change the email message banner, as well as the mailing list banner. And speaking of customizations, there's also a new feature, Custom CSS. So anybody who understands web design can actually create their own CSS code here to modify the fonts, colors, white space, and other visual elements of the site. This feature again is available with the Enterprise edition of the site. Another feature that was recently added is email mailing lists. This is a great way to keep in contact with your customers or anybody else who's following your company and wants to know what's going on. So we're going to do it under Messages. We're going to go to Edit and Mailing Lists. We're going to create a brand new mailing list, and we'll call this one Customers. And we're going to say this is selected by default for anybody who signs up. Then we'll go ahead and click on Save, and that creates a mailing list. In order to subscribe to the messages, customers can come to this mailing list page on the site, enter their email address, first name, last name, an optional company name and location, and About Me, and then select which mailing list they want to receive. Once they click on Save Subscribe, their name will then appear on the mailing list. You'll be able to see anybody who's subscribed to your list under Messages, Mailing List Recipients. When you want to send a message, go up to Messages, Mailing List Messages, and then create a new message. Here you can enter a subject, the message body, when you want the message to go out, and who is going to receive the message. In addition to being able to send messages to people who have subscribed, you can also send messages to your crew members and or contacts. One of the cool capabilities of the mailing list feature of the site is you can see who's actually read the message. If you go under Mailing List Messages, there will be a status link there, and you click on that and it'll show all the people the message has been delivered to and who's actually read it. Something else that's been recently added is the ability to import resources or equipment into CrewAxis. Under the Resources menu, you go to Import Resources, currently in beta, and scroll down, give your import a name, choose your CSV or TSV file, and click on Upload File. From there, it's going to try and determine different data columns, data points that are in your file, and then match them up. This column indicates the fields that were in the file. The Destination Field section indicates the fields in CrewAxis that data is going to be imported into. The site tries to determine what data type is in each column, and then it shows you the first 5 values, so you have a better idea of what data you're looking at. After you've got everything matched up, scroll down, choose an import option, and then click Do It. The site currently supports comma-separated value, or CSV, as well as tab-separated value, TSV. Additional formats may come in the future. Some of the things that have changed are not actually brand new features, just enhancements of existing ones. Let's take a look at an event. So for the Cool Stuff event, I come over here to the Hired page. This page has been dramatically reworked. In the drop-down list, crew members will be grouped by whether they're eligible, ineligible, or if they're already hired for another event. There have been some improvements in the event creation pages. Let's go here to the Event Needs page. This page has been dramatically reworked recently. It's easier to get rid of the jobs you don't need. You can now also copy schedules from one day to the next with this big copy button. One other thing worth mentioning is that days now have a description or title. Say, for example, you can have Setup Day, or Takedown Day, or Shooting Day. Another feature we recently added is the ability to set your own home page. So you can take any page on the site and make that your home when you log in. If we want the event calendar to be our home page, we go up to Profile and select Make this page my home. And then every time I log in, this is where it will take me. This event calendar page itself is actually a relatively new feature. You can specify a date range, which venues you want to see the events for, and the type of events. One of the popular feature requests for CrewAxis is the ability to track travel expenses, so we've recently added that as well. In the Professional and Enterprise editions of the site, there's now a Travel tab on the event page. Click on that, and click on Edit Travel Data. From there, you'll be able to add flights, hotels, car rentals, and more. My personal favorite new feature on CrewAxis in the last few months is the Customer Relationship Manager, or CRM. This allows you to keep track of your interactions and conversations with your clients, vendors, and other people that you work with. To take advantage of this feature, go to the Contacts page. Begin recording a conversation with a client by clicking on the Record Interaction button next to their name. Here you can record the subject of your conversation, as well as record any notes that you need for later follow-up. Scroll down a little bit and you can set yourself a reminder for follow-up. In this case, I'm going to follow up next Tuesday with a text message. For that conversation, the goal is to see if they have a scheduled date yet. At the beginning of 2019, I also added a time clock feature to the site. Crew members and employees can clock in by going to the Clock In menu, choosing the event and job that they're working, and clicking the Clock In button. When they're finished, go back to Clock In and click Clock Out. As the site manager, you can get time clock reports under the Reports menu. Notice that the site recorded the crew member's location when they clocked in and out. You can view that on a map. The last feature that I wanted to cover is the Quotation and Invoice Builder. This is available in the Professional and Enterprise versions of the site. The primary intended use is to keep track of your expenses during an event. Go to the Financial page, click Edit Financial Data. Here you can build an invoice for your customer. But you can also keep track of your costs. The site has a feature to automatically import the data that it already has, such as labor. Each one of the entries keeps track of not only the amount you're going to bill your client, but you can also enter your cost as well to help you figure out your profit margins. At the top, you can choose your invoice status, give the invoice a description, set the invoice date, give it a number, specify the client that it's going to, request a deposit, set the payment terms, include notes for your client, and include your own internal notes. Once you've added everything that you need to, you can send it either as a quotation or an invoice to your client. If you want to see what it looks like before sending it, click the Preview button. The one difference here is when you send it as a quotation to a client, they have the option to approve it. The invoice feature is also available in the Customer Relationship Manager. When you're recording interaction with your client, you can actually build a quotation for a future job. Additionally, if you want to create an invoice or a quotation that's not tied to a client or an event, go to the Admin menu and choose Create a Quotation Invoice. To view the quotations and invoices that have already been created, go to the Quotations Invoices option under the Admin menu. So there you go. 14 new features that have recently been added to CrewAxis. But that's not all. There's more coming. CrewAxis is under constant development. New features are going to be arriving all the time. Keep in mind that this video only focuses on the new features that have been recently added. We'll have other videos training on the existing features coming soon. Be sure to subscribe to this channel to be notified of those new videos. If you have any questions about the site, you can leave those in the comment section down below, or go to the Contact Us link at the bottom of the CrewAxis website. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.